Good evening, Blood Bowl fans. Thanks for tuning into Cabal Vision on your crystal balls, and welcome to the world's biggest scene for sports carnage. I'm your undead host, Jim Johnson, and as always, I'm joined by former Blood Bowl star, Bob Bifford.
Well, you know what they say, Jim. You can take the ogre out of Blood Bowl, but you can't take the Blood Bowl out of the ogre.
We're going to have an amazing, hopefully deadly contest today, I'm sure. And we'll also have a special guest joining us in the Cabal Vision kitchen.
Enough pregame banter. I need to see violence. It's time for the Blood Bowl Championships.
Let's join the teams on the pitch. Today's contest in the Bloody Arena is between the Duldim Razorbacks and the Karastan Griffins.
The Razorbacks are tough-as-nails dwarves known for their choking defense. Their previous opponents sustained no less than 4 crushed tracheas. And their opponents, the Griffins, pretty boy high elves.
Now, Bob, they really are a lot tougher than they look and have a stellar passing game.
But if you ask me, Jim, passing the ball is the coward's way out. Ram it down their throats or go home to your mommy. And the Razorbacks certainly have the advantage in this rain. I don't see the Griffins being able to adjust.
Well, it looks like we're ready for the coin toss, and the Griffins have won the toss and are electing to receive. Here comes the opening kick. What's this? It looks like a nearby wizard must be a Griffins fan because he has cast a spell of control weather and stopped the rain.
I wouldn't be surprised to find he was paid off by the Griffins to give them an advantage.
The Griffins have picked up the ball, but it looks like...
Yeah, he's on him now, like a halfling on a hot dinner.
Oh, that reminds me, Bob. Joining us in the Cabal Vision kitchen, we have a halfling chef, Ilberic Burrows, who's going to show us how to make his favorite hot dinner today. Looks like he's got about, I'd say 3.5 pounds of beef shoulder, an onion, 9 baby carrots, a rib of celery, 2 teaspoons of powdered garlic, 3 cups of meat broth, a few sprigs of sage, salt, pepper, a little oil. Looks like about a half a cup of blood.
I think that's red wine, Jim.
Oh, pity. We'll be checking in with him periodically throughout the match.
It looks like Valak, the Razorback's death roller, is on the move again.
And our poor halfling is struggling to reach the ingredients on that high countertop. Oh, it looks like, yes, he's gotten a large book to stand on. We should be underway now.
I never understand why you need to chop up these vegetables, Jim. Seems like a lot of work when you could just eat them whole.
Yes, well, he's moved on to the onion now. Have you heard, Bob, what they say about ogres being like onions?
Pure nonsense, Jim. Ogres are nothing like vegetables. In fact, if I was cooking, I would just leave the vegetables out altogether and start tearing that raw meat from the bone with your teeth.
Now that he's finished chopping the potatoes, onions, and celery, I see he's moved on to seasoning the meat with salt and pepper to taste.
I gotta break in here, Jim. Varrock is making his move. Yes, he's taking out the ball carrier. Now Dinrin is picking it up and
it's the Razorbacks who draw first blood. Quite literally. But wait, the referee is throwing Varrock out of the game. It turns out using a steam-powered death machine is against the rules.
I don't understand why secret weapons are still banned. With all the pleasure they bring to the spectators, they should be compulsory.
The Razorbacks are kicking the ball yet again, but this time it's resulted in a touchback. Let's take a moment to check in with Chef Burrows.
Looks like he's having a mighty struggle with that cast iron pot. Whip.
To be fair, Bob, it does weigh roughly as much as he does.
Well, it looks like he's got it onto the stove. Now he's adding oil over medium-high heat and throwing, yes, literally throwing that meat up into the pot.
Now that he's got that meat searing, let's check back in with the game. The Griffins speedily move the ball upfield. Back in the kitchen, Burrows is struggling to flip that meat over.
I don't think he can see down into the pot, Jim. He's trying to do this by feel.
Oh, he's managed to get the meat turned over and is going to sear the meat on the other side now. I'd say about 4 minutes per side.
Watch this, Jim. That arrogant elf left himself wide open and now he's paid the price.
The dwarves have picked up the ball and are making their way down the field. I don't believe it, it's another touchdown! The Griffins are going to be hard-pressed from being down by 2 now that we've reached the end of the first half.
My prediction, Griffins lose 0-6. My other prediction, That halfling burns the tips of his fingers off while sauteing those vegetables for the next few minutes.
And the Griffins could not be in a worse position. Down by 2 and now throwing the ball away to start the second half.
Look at that little guy go. Scooping up that ball, taking it downfield and passing it to his... Oh, never mind. Turnover. Griffin's ball.
If the Elves don't make something of this possession, I think we can safely say it's all over. Oh my goodness! Touchdown! What speed! What grace!
What a crock. Let's go back to those vegetables. Looks like he's adding the powdered garlic and meat broth now as the Griffins get ready to throw the ball away. And their chance of winning.
Bob, it looks like that wizard has intervened again and cast the blitz spell, rendering the Razorbacks immobile for a time. The Griffins have recovered the ball in Razorback territory. They're moving unmolested down the pitch and touchdown!
Right now, I can assure you that Razorback staff are hard at work, trying to figure out a way to murder that meddlesome wizard.
And Chef Burrows is still hard at work making his Halfling Hot Dinner, adding in the meat, sage, and potatoes. Now all he has to do is cover that roast and bake it at 350 degrees for about 3 to 4 hours, and he's done. Those smug little elves are throwing the ball away, and the dwarves are all over it. You know they won't let this game end in a tie.
Of course not, Jim, because if they do, they'll certainly be ripped to shreds by the fans. I don't believe it. The dwarves have thrown a hail nuffle pass, and it's complete. They're working their way up the field.
And our halfling is working to try and get himself more wine since he seems to have spilled his first batch.
I can't stand seeing the little guy struggle like that.
Bob? Where are you going? I had no idea you were such a softy, Bob.
Watch it, Jim. If you weren't already dead,
Let's focus on the match. The Griffins are going to try and end the Razorbacks' hopes, breaking this tie right here.
Nuffles balls, Jim. They've taken down the ball carrier and have forced a turnover.
Equally as unbelievable, the roast, which was supposed to take at least 3 hours, is apparently finished after only 30 seconds. He's removed the meat and vegetables and is reducing the cooking liquid by half.
He must have cast a haste spell, Jim. Now he's adding in the wine and reducing again.
Here come the vegetables back into the pot. The meat has been shredded and edited back in. Bob, I think this dish might be finished before the end of the game.
Don't count on it, Bob, because the Griffins were unable to move the ball, and the referee is now signaling the end of the game, and the fans are not happy.
You know, a tie in any other sport would be unsatisfying, but watching the fans tear both teams limb from limb, I can't help but feel like this is a special game. Do you know what I just realized, though? That wizard who was interfering with the game, who orchestrated this entire bloody outcome, I think I know why no one was able to find him.
Because he was using a spell of invisibility, Jim?
No, it's because he's been hiding in plain sight this whole time. Our haste-casting little halfling chef has been playing us this whole time. Quickly, to the kitchen.
Oh, it's too late, Jim. He's already gone. Ah! And he ate the entire dinner! Fitting for a halfling, I suppose, but still infuriating!
Well, I suppose that does it for this match. From all of us here at Cabal Vision, I'm Jim Johnson.
And I'm Bob Bifford.